Milvia, I'm glad you're here with me today. I got introduced to you by Stacy, and so she's part of the book, et cetera. She came on the podcast and everything else, and so you and I had a quick chat. I love your journey, and I believe it's going to help so many other people that need to hear it, watch it. So I would love for you to open up and share with everybody else who Milvia is. What are you doing today? What got you to where you are today? We'll go down that rabbit hole sometime soon. But what are you most passionate about?
Okay. Hi, John, and thank you for having me. Okay, so I'll start, and you must feel free to stop me at any time because I do tend to go on. Okay, so I'm Milvia. I'm a nutritionist, and I am from Sardinia. So I'm not sure if you are familiar with this, but Sardinia is one of the five blue zones in the whole world, and is very well known for longevity. For some strange reasons, these five blue zones um, have longevity in common. So people live to very old ages. We just celebrated in Sardinia a lady who was just 112 years old last week, which
That's
is
impressive.
which is pretty fantastic. So yeah, just so that you know, Sardinia is one of the blue zones. Then we have Okinawa, Japan, Loma Linda, California, Ikaria, Greece, and Nicoya, Costa Rica. So these are the five longevity blue zones.
So what makes it a blue zone?
It's they have something in common, whether it is a more plant-based diet, community. Is all those ingredients together that makes them live a long, healthy life. Because this is important, is a long, healthy life, not 90 years old and in bedbound. It's actually an active, older life, which is nice.
Hmm. Is this something you came upon yourself? Like you found this out, and did you live there the whole time?
Yes. So yes, absolutely. I am from Sardinia, so I lived the first 20 years of my life,
Hmm.
and then in 2016, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, and w- when you have hypothyroidism, that is basically a life sentence. And so after various tests, the doctors wanted to put me on medication for life. But I decided to go against that. I went back to my roots, and I started experimenting with foods, herbs, and things that I was familiar with before I came to England. I became a nutritionist, and you know, 11 years later, I think it is now, I have completely reversed my condition. And so I am medication free, and I'm thriving. So it's remarkable um, what food can do for you when you understand how to use it to your advantage.
Right. And you mentioned you had thyroid,
Hypothyroidism. So,
hypothyroidism. Like, can
okay,
you can you
okay.
just explain what that is so other people know if they don't know?
Yes, basically is when your TSH, the thyroid stimulating hormone, raises uh, quite high. So obviously it's imbalanced, and that can happen uh, when, especially to women, because it is actually more popular in women. Okay, and that happens to women that have been on some kind of hormone replacements, like the pill, for example, HRT. We are finding that that is the case. And women don't necessarily experience it during the pill, but it all comes when they stop. Because the pill, for example, keeps you well. It masks everything down. Then when you stop it, then this is where it becomes an issue.
What's the peel?
Oh, it's the contraceptive pill.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you familiar with that? Yeah. You are familiar with the contraceptive. Yeah. Are you?
Good. But I like to. Yeah, I'll learn, and you can share with everybody else,
Yeah,
right?
okay,
So
okay.
people,
Yes.
so some people don't know anything, right?
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So, sorry, I took it for granted. So the pill is basically a pill that women take not to conceive, basically.
Okay.
And if a woman has been on it for a long time, it can create various problems. We are finding this to be the case now. And so I was actually one of those women that has taken the pill because obviously women are under a lot of pressure not to get pregnant. And so obviously for a period, I've taken the pill. And it was clearly too long, and it has created what it has created for me, which was obviously hypothyroidism, which it is it is a life sentence. You feel very unwell. Um, you have no energy. You have brain fog. It's as if you're living in another planet. This is how I've experienced it. And to be well, to not to have the brain fog, and not to have all the other issues is incredible. I feel that I've been given another chance, a new lease of life.
Right. So you got hypothyroidism, and it took you 11 years to get out of it. Is that correct?
So basically, I've started experimenting with foods and herbs, and things actually began to change very, very quickly. So I was monitored initially every 3 months,
Mhm.
and every 3 months I could see that something was changing, that it was beginning to balance itself out, until eventually my TSH was normal. So the TSH at some point was rose so high that my doctor called me at home. She said, "Milvia, your TSH is dangerously high. You need to go on medication. You need to consider it." And I remember asking her, what will happen to me if I don't? And she said, "Well, you can die," which was a little bit disconcerting. Um, so anyway, I thought, yeah, okay. But I still wasn't convinced. I didn't feel as if I was dying. And I knew from the blood tests that things were changing. However, she was right to call, because I give you an example. The TSH hormone, um, the ranges go from 0.24 to 4.24, and mine rose to 702.
Mm.
So it was obviously extremely high. So she was right to call. But I kept on doing the right thing, and eventually I went for my blood test. Results came through a couple of days later, and gosh, it's 3.24. I thought, wow, this is normal. And then every 3 months after that, it was normal again. So I have completely reversed the condition with food alone, without medication.
So most people would tend to take the medication. That's what
Yes.
happens.
So basically, so 2.2 million people in the UK alone in 2014 were diagnosed with hypothyroidism, and they were all treated with thyroxine.
Mm.
So this is basically a standard drug that is given to anybody with hypothyroidism.
And does that eliminate it or just like
No,
reduces?
that just basically keeps it under control. That is not a cure.
Hmm.
So, but somehow something told me not to go for it, and I've decided to take control of my life, of my health, and it paid off.
Yeah. And you knew what to take by studying and looking into it.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So basically, I study hypothyroidism. So I, for example, eliminated all the foods that could cause it, that could aggravate it. I started treating, for example, a small thing, the dark green vegetables, in a certain way. Because, for example, spinach, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, all the dark green vegetables like cavolo, they have uh, little worms that are invisible to the naked eye. So I've learned an Ayurvedic step that actually gets rid of this. Because who would want to ingest worms even without hypothyroidism? I don't know anybody who would. So, so I've done that, and I supplemented with help, nori, all the iodine, all the supplements that women need with hypothyroidism. I supplemented with all that, and everything basically helped. I also you might remember what Hippocrates said 2,500 years ago. He said that all disease starts in the gut. And he was completely right, because I healed my gut, and everything went away. So it's, yeah.
So it's true that we are what we eat.
Yes, this is where I am. So um now I help other people with hypothyroidism to ask more questions, to about their health, not to take a tablet straight away, not to take the easy way out.
Mm.
And so I help clients to get rid of hypothyroidism naturally, and I also teach hypothyroidism once a month for my teacher, actually. And so every month he invites me to teach his class about hypothyroidism.
About what it is and then how to get rid of it? Is it
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I actually I don't know anybody else who managed to reverse the condition, and I can understand that. I considered it myself. I thought, it's only a tablet a day. Why don't I just do that? Right? Why don't I just do that?
Mm.
But something was telling me not to. And I consider my kitchen cupboard my medicine cupboard. And, and as I said earlier, once you understand what food can do for you, then it's, the sky is the limit. And in the same way, I have also reversed, I suffered from insomnia. So at 2:30 in the morning, I was still waiting to go to sleep. I also had fibromyalgia, which is a condition that um, affects your joints and your muscles, that is very painful. And everything went away. So I healed my gut, and everything went away. So it is possible.
So you were working on the yeah, hypothyroid.
Hypothyroidism.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. So you were working on that, and then the other stuff went away too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 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 So basically, I cleaned up my diet. Uh, I healed my gut, and everything went away. And incidentally, I am Sardinian, I'm Mediterranean. My diet was pretty good, but there was something in there that was aggravating my situation. And let's not forget, obviously, the fact that I've been on the pill for a long, long time.
Mm,
So I once I got rid of the pill and I started working on my gut, cleaned up my diet, everything went away. So it's pretty unbelievable. I don't mind disclosing my age. I'm 66. Sorry, 66, and and I am medication free.
that's
And
great.
and I don't know anybody, uh, any of my friends really, that don't take the easy way out. They are actually starting to um to ask more questions now, which is fantastic, and I don't mind giving the advice.
Mhm.
But it is very rewarding when you actually can help someone else.
It is, and so they're asking you now, later in their later years, right? Is it too late for them to start making a change?
No, absolutely not. No, it's never too late. I am actually, especially when I go teaching once a month, I have inspired quite a few people, and they are all coming out of medication now.
Mm,
So which is really nice, because if you clean up your diet and you remove what can aggravate your thyroid, and introduce other things that you need, then obviously you start balancing things out. And so I was able to inspire other people to come off medication, which is really nice.
yeah,
And it's never too late to start healing yourself.
I agree. I just I didn't know
Yeah.
nutrition-wise, right? Yeah, how long that would
Yeah.
take, right? Um,
Yeah.
so in your experience, like you're talking to your friends and helping them out, clients, et
Yeah.
cetera, and they're later in their years, uh, what what's a timeline of a difference that you kinda see? Like, does it take a couple months?
It can actually happen really, really quickly,
Mm,
because I began to see changes. I'm not going to say a couple of months, because that would not be true, but 6 months, I began to see big changes. A year, I was quite happy. My head, my no brain fog. I was beginning to feel much better within 6 months to a year. And now, besides the fact that this is my job and obviously I teach it, I don't think about it. I just do what I have to do. I have a fantastic diet. Um, I take obviously all the supplements that I need, and I don't even think about it. For me, longevity is a way of being. So longevity is the result of your life. So what you put into it, will give you longevity. If that makes any sense.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. It's just not a lot of people explain it like that, right?
Yeah. And so if you, and it's not difficult because sometimes we use the word diet. And when people hear diet, they think, oh my God, I have to go on a diet. But diet, all it means, it's a different way of eating.
Mm.
So we have the Mediterranean diet, we have the alkaline diet, we have, I don't know, uh, the any other name. It's just a name, it's just a different way of eating. So I chose not to eat inflammatory foods.
Mm.
And you know, if we basically start doing that, things get better. You know, I also drink clean water. So I don't go to the mountains and take the water, even though I'd love to do that. But instead, I bought myself a distiller and I distill my own water. So because that's also detrimental for us. Water from the tap,
Mm.
it's detrimental. And let's don't think that water in plastic bottle is much better, because it's not. Because plastic bottles have a very bad toxic called BPA. So, but you know, I have my distiller. I distill my water every couple of days, which I use for cooking and drinking. And, you know, I do my best. So I have implemented uh, longevity from Sardinia in modern life. So,
That's
yeah,
difficult for a lot of people.
it is actually easier than you think. And obviously, if you have an expert from Sardinia,
Mhm.
then she would teach you how to do it. She would coach you how to do it.
Right. And so do you hold people accountable? Like they'll reach out to you like once a week or something like that? How's that like
Yes.
kind of look?
Yes, that's right. That's
Okay.
right. I coach people and I speak to them once a week, sometimes once a week, sometimes once a month. In later stages of the programs, it's once a month. But initially, uh, you know, once a week. It's normally, and so what happens is we tweak things every week. So if something isn't working, we introduce something else. So we remove, we introduce, and we get there. All we have to do is sorry, be open to discussion, to to talk about what we are uncomfortable doing. You know, it's sometimes we don't want to change because it's uncomfortable,
Yeah, it is uncomfortable.
isn't it? So sometimes it's easier to have a sandwich for lunch, right?
Hmm.
Especially if you work. You know, oh, I'll grab a sandwich. But actually, you know, where I work like everybody else. Like, you know, I work 6, 7 days a week. I cook everything I eat. Like I have my salad every day. So if I know that I'm having a busy day, I will make my salad the night before. It's in the fridge. So all I have to do when I eat it is to dress it a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, lemon juice, sauerkraut, and I'm done. Right? So, and then I'll have the protein. I have an avocado. I have maybe an egg or some mackerel. You know, even a king mackerel is fine. Okay, but it's not the sandwich. You are you are getting organized. You make your salad the night before, and then how long does it take you to have to open tino mackerel, for example? It does. Or you know, it doesn't take very long. So you sit down and you have a healthy meal. And another thing that I do is get organized. So, for example, tomorrow is Sunday. Um, I will shop in the morning, okay, and I will prepare everything I need. So I've already before previous to this, I bought some organic vegetables, sorry, spinach this morning, and I've just prepared them in little bags, and they're in the freezer. So I prep, and it only takes me 2 hours
Mm.
over the weekend. I prep what I need for the week. I put it in the freezer and in the fridge, and then it's ready, washed, and ready for me to use. So it's, uh, I think it's pretty easy. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's struggle for some people because you're taking old habits and making new habits,
Yes.
and that's the hard part. Because 'cause I'll be honest with you, when I hired my trainer and he's like, "Oh, cut down to this," right in the beginning, you're like, "Oh, here we go," right? So a lot of things disappear
Yeah.
and, you stick with it and you see the results, right?
Yes.
Whether it's building muscle or, being more
Yes.
healthy or whatever it
Exactly.
is, right? Um, but I think does come down to a lot of making that mindset shift and changing your habits
Yes.
that helps you get to where you are. So I
Yeah.
can't I can't do what you're doing as far as prepping for one day for the whole week. That's not my thing.
Okay.
I've tried.
Maybe now I've suggested it, you could try, right?
I could try again, but it hasn't been my thing, right? It's like
So, but also what I give my clients, which is it's easy. It's not only do I give a 7-day meal plan, but I also give a shopping list.
okay.
Okay, so they go to the supermarket. They've got, I don't know, half kilo broccoli, 2 bags of spinach. They've got a list. So they've got everything in the fridge.
Mhm.
So they don't have to go shopping every day because they've already got it. So yes, it's a shift in mindset, but it's whatever we do, right? Whatever whatever we do in life, it's a shift in mindset. If we want to, like you just said, if we want to train, if we want to build muscle, you have to change your mindset a little bit, right? You know, you don't want to go to the gym, perhaps at 6 a.m., but you will go to the gym if you want to achieve the result, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's only a small adjustment, I think. And people say to me, "Oh, but I'm Italian, and how am I gonna do this?" And I'm say, "I'm Italian, and and I've done it." So, and it starts at diet, if you want to use that word. It starts at the supermarket. It really does, because if you don't bring it home, you won't eat it.
True.
So it's and what I say, it's small habits every day, small habits, big results. And before you know, you have the muscle that you wanted. You clean your diet. You feel much better because actually the energy that a clean diet will give you. I don't know if you experienced that, but it will give you that much energy. When you see that, um, for example, my neighbor was telling me yesterday, she said, Milvia, oh, my belly fat is going. I love it. And it does happen really quickly,
Mhm.
and she's Greek. She's also used to eating all these rich meals that are not necessarily good for us all every day. So, if I want to if I want to break the habits, then, Christmas, Easter, my birthday, which is next week, I will have something different. But what I'm saying is that it is not our birthday every day. It's not Christmas every day. It's not Easter every day. So we have to make small adjustments. And I think we can make small adjustments.
We can make the small adjustments of eating all the stuff that's not good for us, and it's just gonna
Yes.
set us in the bad spot,
Yeah,
or we can make the small
absolutely.
adjustments and go in the other direction.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
possible. It's how
yeah,
bad you want it, right?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And we have to remember that a lot of food, a lot of which is now we know it as UPFs, right? It's not even real food. So
What's UPF? What's that?
UPF is ultra processed foods.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I only
So
know it's processed here, but
yeah, and so uh, especially in the States,
mhm.
a lot of food that is consumed isn't real food. And now we find ourselves with, you know, uh, obesity, large numbers, diabetes type 2, even in small children. Children under 10 have diabetes type 2 because of poor nutrition. And I think that is very serious. I mean, where is it going to end? Where is it going to end? And I think, in this country, we have the NHS, which is, you know, where we get health from, and that is basically on its knees. If you want an appointment with your doctor, with the hospital, you don't have it tomorrow. You have it in 3 months, 6 months, in a year.
Mm.
So, anything can happen in a year. So, isn't it better for us to take responsibility?
Yes, it is. And we got to
I mean, in your country, if you don't have insurance, it's the same thing, isn't it? Uh,
Yeah,
you don't have,
sometimes they get something, I don't know how it works, but yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I think it's up to us to take responsibility.
Mhm. Yeah, it comes down to us, right? And so who do we want to show up for ourselves and to the people around us that we love the
Yeah,
most, right? But yeah, making the habit change, it's definitely doable. Making the small choices of what you decide to eat. Um,
yeah,
no matter what health issues you're dealing with, right? You we make a change.
yeah.
So I'm just I'm glad you shared all this and all your information here, and a little bit about your journey and how you got to where you are. Especially you navigating and not having to take medication to get to
Yeah.
where you are today at the age of 66, and your birthday coming up, and you just keep on longevity. You mentioned that, right? You keep
Yes.
on living.
Longevity, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how can people reach out to you, connect with you, and how can you support them with, helping them
Okay.
live better?
So I've actually shared some links earlier with you if you wanna post them.
Okay.
So I'm all the social media at bluesonnutrition.co.uk. My website is bluesonnutrition.co.uk. And I've shared all the links with you if you want to post them on the podcast later, and I'll be happy to talk to anyone.
There you go. Yeah, I'll put them all in the show notes,
Yeah.
so they'll all be there.
Yes.
So I know you don't listen to the podcast. No, I'm just kidding. I think you do listen to the podcast, but so I ask everybody the same question at the end, right? So what are three key things you've learned and used along your journey?
Three things that I've learned. Okay, I have taken control of my life and my health.
Mhm.
I asked more questions and I've educated myself.
Nice. And so asking more questions, what does that do for you?
Ye So, like, for example, when the doctor says, "You need to go on thyroxine," don't just say, "Okay, if that's what I have to do, I'll have to do it." No. No. What does thyroxine give me? What How can I supplement that without taking the medication? So ask all the questions, and let's not forget that medications have other long-term side effects. It's never a good idea to take a medication. Like, for example, if you are, let's say you take a tablet for high blood pressure. If you walked every day a little bit for half an hour, you wouldn't need to take the tablets, because that tablet actually weakens your heart. So this is also one of the reasons why I didn't want to take medication, because I know that every medication will give me another problem.
Mm,
And that is why I want to stay medication free forever. And I will stay medication free forever.
all right. By asking questions that leads you up
By
to that.
asking
Yeah.
questions, yes, by asking questions, even questions to myself, like, how else can I do this? Let's look into this. What can I take instead of thyroxine?
Right. Who do I know that can help me?
Who do I know that can help me? All these questions. Um, and they will give you the answer. I gave myself many answers by asking myself these questions, and I found the answers. I read, I studied, I became a nutritionist, and all the answers were there.
Yeah. That's great. I like it. That's one great way to, you know, carry something that you learned through your journey, right? And
Yeah, absolutely.
continue with it. So thank you for sharing that and the other two as well. And
Pleasure.
Sylvia, I appreciate you coming on, and I'm glad we connected through Stacy as well.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Yeah, you're
And
welcome.
hopefully we'll share another success story very
Oh,
soon.
I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely.